Please be advised that everything in my video is purely for entertainment purposes. These are purely my thoughts and opinions and are subjective. I must advise you to please do your own research. All media users found on the public domain and are fair use and fair dealings.
Hi you guys, I hope you're doing well. So today is the 14th of May. I'm telling you the date just so we can keep up with all the news stories that have been coming out. So let's talk about the real royals. Sophie, the Countess of Wessex, has had her boots on the ground, as it were, again. She's been helping nourish our nurses alongside volunteers who have been packaging up healthy kind of parcels, food parcels for the nurses at St Peter's Hospital in Chertsey. I think Sophie in these photographs just looks so normal, so down to earth, and she just genuinely looks a kind and warm person. I really hope we see more of Sophie. The media seem hell-bent on covering the Sussexes at every opportunity, but when you have lovely stories like this going on, I really wish Sophie got more coverage. I really hope that the Queen gives some sort of nod to Sophie once this pandemic is over, because she has definitely been one of the royals that has been basically on the front line. To be honest, I guess she's one of the very few of the royal family that are not in that scary age range. Well, the Queen, we're not sure when we're next going to see her. Same with Charles and Camilla. They have to be very careful because they are over the 70 age group, where they need to be very conscious of people that they come into contact with. I think our government is saying that we may not see the Queen on public duties until next year, realistically, or until a vaccine has been found. So speaking of the rest of the royals, there was a brilliant Zoom chat, one of the best Zoom chats that I have seen so far, where you had Charles and Camilla. We started off with the Queen, who's not quite obviously Zoom in just yet. We had Catherine and William, we had Sophie, and we had the Princess Royal, Princess Anne. I absolutely love her, and I'll show you a little clip here.
Good afternoon, Your Majesty.
Good afternoon. This is rather an important day.
Oh, it is. It's quite special. The International Nurses Day being recognised by the general public.
Yes, because they obviously had a very important part to play recently.
On this International Nurses Day, my family and I want to join in the chorus of thank you to nursing and midwifery staff all over the country and indeed the world.
Extraordinary times call for extraordinary people. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you for everything you're doing.
A huge thank you from us all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for what you're doing.
See, how cool would that Zoom chat have been? Sadly, obviously, if it had been a few years ago, we would have seen Harry in that mix, and it just goes to show how much the royals have been stepping up in this pandemic. And it's sad in some ways to not see Harry being part of it. But as they say, he's made his bed, so he's got to lie in it. But the only problem is he didn't make his bed. Someone else made his bed for him. And actually, these days, it's not even his own bed, is it? So speaking of hapless Harry, there has been another story that has come out about him, how he feels rudderless, how he's missing his friends, how he's got no job and he feels very, very lost. Well, welcome to the real world. Welcome to a world that lots of us are experiencing at the moment due to the lockdown. Lots of us are not able to go to work, see our friends, but it's done in a typical style of please feel sorry for me, pity me. And I'm sorry, try as I might, I just can't muster any sympathy for Harry anymore. Even the dimmest person in the world surely would have grasped that if you leave your house, your home, your country, your family, your friends, your jobs, basically everything that you've ever known your entire life, to pack up and to move, first of all to Canada and then to LA, where you've got no friends, you've got no history there, you've got nothing there, to suddenly go, oh, actually, what am I going to do when I'm here? I've got no friends out here. Harry, obviously, with this pandemic, couldn't have picked a worse time to move out there because they can't go anywhere. And as it was confirmed in the news, LA is in a further 3-month lockdown. So good luck with that one. Obviously, Harry is not too stuck with things to do, because I have seen more of Harry since he left the royal family than what I ever did before. Harry now has an addiction for posting these video clips to his various charities, which again has put Harry under that awkward kind of spotlight of, have they been telling porcupines? Here you can see the video clip of where he did, this is one of the first ones where he did that really bad creepy Santa. Then in the second video that followed, which was the Invictus Games, if you look in the background, it's the cream wall with a really crappy looking MDF kind of cheap cupboard. And this is when he was supposedly in Canada with Meghan, and as the other videos then coincide that have come since they've moved to LA, it's the same crappy cupboard in the background. I mean, a couple of the videos he looks like he is literally in the basement. I don't know what room he must be filming in. Considering he is living in this huge Tyler Perry mansion, you think there'd be some nice rooms that he could have as a nice backdrop, a nice sort of background. But no, he's gone for the I'm being held captive sort of background look. All he needs to do is hold up a newspaper in front of him, doesn't he? As someone posted in the Daily Mail comments, wink a few times, Harry, if you need us to send help. But finishing off this little clip here, in the last 2 videos, Harry has actually been spouting Meghan's nonsense.
Hats off to every single one of you for surviving, but also for thriving. Like the One Show got in touch and asked if I could shine a light on a group of veterans that lots of people might not know about.
He's used terminology such as thriving and surviving. Oh dear Lord, you think that a little bit of common sense after the South Africa pity party documentary got absolutely trashed, that he would choose his words more carefully. Is this Meghan still writing his speeches, or has he officially turned into Meghan's puppet? So speaking of Meghan and what Meghan wants, big story, huge story came out, and it has been much discussion on radio, TV, magazines and newspapers. The biography that Omid Scobie, her friend and little personal mouthpiece, and Carolyn Durand have written together. Now, bearing in mind that we had a report saying representatives of the Sussexes had said that they had nothing to do with this, they didn't sit down or give interviews, Meghan is demanding that the book be released earlier than its August release date. It has been quoted that Meghan literally wants this book out there now, so it will set the record straight, so it will show the world that she's not a diva. It will show everything from her perspective and her point of view. But I didn't think that Meghan had anything to do with the writing of this book. I thought it was all just, you know, Omid and Carolyn, Omid especially, from all of the inside information that he's gathered from being invited to lots of personal events of Harry and Meghan's. So why would she want this book suddenly released to set the record straight unless she knows exactly everything that's in it? It's obviously going to be one-sided, isn't it, to play the victim narrative? Why on earth would she think, in the middle of this pandemic, with everything that's going on worldwide, where people are losing their jobs, people don't know if they're going to have their job in 6 months' time, people don't know if we're going to be hit with a bigger recession than a 2008 banking crisis, but now Meghan feels that the world, this is the time for the world, they want to know, we all need to know that underneath it all, she's actually a really nice person, and it wasn't a fairy tale, and she's been treated absolutely deplorably. The problem is with her wanting to shatter her image of being a diva, you're demanding that a book that you had nothing to do with be released so it sets the record straight. Ooh, yeah, that doesn't really do much to prove the fact that you are self-obsessed for a start. As I said, given the current climate that's going on, you want this book released now? You don't think people have better things going on? She seems to be obsessed with pushing this victim narrative that she was just this poor innocent party that got dragged into this. Now, they didn't exactly leave quietly. They also didn't leave how should we say, to go have a private life, did they? They have done everything. They've dug tooth and nail to keep hold of the titles, the privileges, and you can't say otherwise because they put a list of their demands on their own website when Megxit was announced. They even tacked onto it that the Queen has no right to tell them that they can't use the word royal because she doesn't own the word royal. These two, I mean, their own website. So how can you undig all of this and turn around and say, actually, you know, they were forced to leave, they had no other choice? Well, if you had no other choice and you hated everything to do with the royal family and what it stood for, the oppression that you suffered, the toxicity of it all, you know, how badly she was treated by Harry's family and stuff, why on earth would you want to keep the titles? Why on earth would you move to somewhere like America that doesn't give a damn about titles, but you're desperately clinging onto it? There were blind gossips coming out that I believe it was the most recent charities. They were actually going to use her name Meghan Markle, but she insisted on being called Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. This, to me, does not make sense. And the biggest problem that Meghan is going to find is the fact that we've seen her behaviour. We have had so many news articles that have come out, and it's not just been the media. We had articles come out, you know, demands for a tiara, Meghan shouting at staff, not her own staff, but everyone else's staff. Her own staff quit. She's lost more staff. Her and Harry have lost more staff than any other royal. It was a revolving door of staff. And the stories weren't coming out great either. Staff were left crying, in tears. We had reports that she treated staff, even in Australia, terribly. She shouted and screamed and people put it down to the pressures that she was under. But no, it just turns out that I just don't think, as I said in many videos, she's a particularly nice person. The problem is it's not just the stories that came out. As I said, you can't just blame the media. Meghan has blamed everyone, from it's the public being mean about her, it's the media, it's her family, it's her ex-friends, it's her ex-husbands, it's all these people that are just selling her down the river. Meghan takes no responsibility for her own actions. But okay, so you look at all of the newspaper coverage, but that's not what turned people off initially. It was actually the interview. It's the more we saw of Meghan. It was the way she behaved. It was the way she coddled Harry. She guided him. She belittled him. She treated him like a child. The way that she was always hanging off of him. The way that she barged in front of him. She always had to speak first. Now I'm going to include a clip here. This is actually from my video, Love or Loathe. If you haven't seen it, I do recommend it because I go into great detail about, you know, the way that she's changed Harry in such a short space of time and how Meghan is very much in the driving seat of this narcissistic relationship. But the clip here is just a short clip, but it just shows you this is actual behaviour that we have seen with our own eyes.
Yes, that's great. Thank you very much. Don't touch me. Excuse me, I'm getting out the car by myself. Get away from me. Harry, I go first. We're married now. I'm more important than you. Tap on the back. Harry, I told you. Meghan walks in first, straight away. This lady then speaks to Harry and says, excuse me, I think that you should sign it first. Watch Meghan's face. Not happy at all. Harry then makes a fatal mistake after signing. He doesn't pass the pen to Meghan. Watch her face when she has to take it off him. She kind of gives him a look. We've got another one of Harry standing there as Meghan charges first. She touches him first, however. He gestures for her to go forward after she's already touched him. Here we have Meghan but literally barging Harry out the way, elbow into the gut, and she still continues. If I'd have accidentally nudged into someone like that, I would have stepped back. But no, she follows through with it. She was determined that she was getting in there first. This is actually quite sad. This was the Grenfell book. She cheers after she's given another speech. Watch Harry's face. This is actually kind of upsetting. She's done the big speech. Harry's there cheering for her. Looks so happy she walks past. He's nothing. He's demoted to a member of staff. Look at his face. He's literally left a trail behind. It's awful, really. This one speaks for itself. There's several of these, actually. This is when they were doing a big visit in the day. This is the notorious bump flashing day. It's the way she guides Harry and tells him where to go and then gets everyone to laugh at him. Oh, it's horrible. It's just really cringy. It's just not the way you treat your husband. Now, this next video really makes me laugh. There's two things going on in this. The gentlemen quite clearly guide Harry where to stand. They tell him to go over to one side, and then the gentleman tries to guide Meghan with his hand on her back to the left-hand side. She refuses, brushes him off almost, and tells Harry to get over the other side. And this one, well, she cannot handle Harry talking to everyone, so she literally barges herself right into the middle of it. And Harry, look at him. He is literally pushed to the background, doesn't know what to do with himself. She's the centre of attention. I find this absolutely shocking behaviour. I find it so disrespectful. And this, my personal favourite. Look at the way she's looking at him. She's so unhappy that he's the centre of attention right now. She's literally doing that blinking thing. Pay attention to me. She's got a face like thunder. Watch this. Slow motion. Oh, Harry, you are in so much trouble. She has got the right knock and she is not afraid to show it there. I think there was a shot just at the end of this where look how clenched her jaw is. I bet he was in some serious trouble.
When we see her behaviour on camera, like I just showed in this clip, it does actually coincide with all of the stories from her family, from ex-friends, from ex-partners, from people that have come out what they've said about her. The only people that sing her praises are people that Meghan has met that she wanted something from. They are celebs that are obviously higher up the food chain than her. And of course she's going to be sweet and kind to them. Of course she's going to come across as nice. She probably won't be so nice to their staff if left alone with them, but this is the kind of personality she wants to put out there. She wants to control the narrative that she's really a lovely person. And I'm sorry, love, the dots don't line up. She's never going to be able to convince me after seeing the way that she has treated people, as I said, with my own eyes, the way she has talked to people, the way that she plays this victim narrative. She has built up her own bad reputation. There is nothing that is going to come out in this book that is going to do her any favours. There is nothing that is going to come out in this book where people aren't just going to go, well, clearly she wrote it. Because clearly Meghan has written this book. Omid is one of her friends. I don't know about Carolyn Durand, but she's obviously had her head up Meghan's bottom with some of the articles that I did manage to find that she's written. But the story that Meghan and Harry, how much involvement he has in it, I don't know, is in complete contrast to what we have seen with our own eyes, heard with our own ears. As I said, it's not just stories that the media have put out there. And the fact that there is continuous PR articles about them, continuous daily, this couple are so overexposed. If they'd gone away quietly, if they actually had done some of these breaks, if she'd actually taken maternity leave, you know, maybe it would have given people a chance to have a breather from them, but it's every day and the assaults are getting worse. Every single day there is a new article that comes out. We are beginning to hear more negative stuff, I guess, where the newspapers are now officially covering it, where the gloves are off. But with every negative article that comes out, there is quickly a dozen positive ones that come out. Sorry, you're not fooling anyone. Either of you are not fooling anyone. I mean, I don't feel sorry for Harry. I mean, as I said, he does look a bit unwell in these videos. He's getting skinny. He's probably living off of kale smoothies and doing yoga every single day. Well, he's got nothing else to do, is he, in between doing these videos? The fact that Harry is sounding more and more like Meghan in each video just makes me think he's literally turning into, or if he always was, a male version of Meghan. Maybe Harry really wasn't this nice guy that we thought he was, and as I've said before, you know, it was just clever PR. And the Harry that we see now with that protection gone, he doesn't come across that nicer guy. So finishing up this video with Harry, pictures have come out of Harry happily playing with his dog at Tyler Perry's mansion. So it has been proved that he is in fact there. Obviously, I haven't seen him and Meghan together, but you're just presuming. Maybe they're in separate wings of that absolutely enormous house. But Harry was outside playing with the dog. Now, bearing in mind that they know that they've just been discovered, there's helicopters there every single day. I find it very odd how perfect these pictures were. Clearly they weren't taken by helicopter, because I'm pretty sure that Harry would have heard the helicopter. Okay, so you can pass that it was taken with a drone, which is more than likely, given the angle, as Murky Meg pointed out in her video, that the pictures were taken. This isn't someone that's in the property. But, and I digress, but the shots that were taken are Harry happily laughing and smiling. It wasn't just a back shot of him and Meghan walking into the building or the dogs playing in the garden. It was a perfect image, several perfect images of Harry laughing and looking so happy while he throws that ball for his dog into the swimming pool. And I just thought, set up, isn't it? It's that whole PR response to the stories that came out that Harry looks sick, Harry looks miserable, maybe Harry's regretting his choices and he wants to come home. I reckon in my head he was literally told, Harry, get outside now, I've called Backgrid or Splash News or whoever else that I'm using, and the drone is up in the sky. I want you out there now, take the dog, you go out there, you smile and you look happy, okay? I don't just want a smile, I want you laugh manically, I want stage happy, I want Hollywood happy. Get out there now or no kale smoothies for later. Please tell me what you think. Is Harry just basically, are you feeling sorry for Harry? Can you get your violins out for him? Do you think that he is just this poor innocent soul in all of this mess? Or do you think that he is as bad as Meghan? Do you think those pap shots, the ones of Harry roaming around Tyler Perry's house, were set up like I do? So that's it for this video. I hope you guys are all staying safe and well and sane. I have started doing a Couch to 5K app for my sanity. Don't expect to see me running marathons anytime soon, but if I can get up to 5K in the coming months, that will be an absolute miracle in itself. So I'll keep you guys posted. Take care for now, and I'll see you really soon. Bye.
If you like my video, please remember to like and subscribe. Please, angry typists, you will be blocked, so save your fingers for time. If you would like to buy me a coffee, please go to my About page and click the link. Love, Taz.